Right, hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, so this is the first video I'm gonna upload because so many of you have asked me about Ramadan and what to eat in Ramadan and the foods to eat, the things to avoid, and what sort of Ramadan is all about when it comes to food and how you should go about it. Okay, I did want my first YouTube video to be about my journey, but because of timing and what's happening now, I'm gonna do this one first. Right. Let me just briefly just set the scene for you with regards to Ramadan. Ramadan is about, look, it's about in the mental state wise, you're supposed to be in a good mental state. You're supposed to be in a relaxed and calm state, okay? Which means what? Which means having self control throughout the day, which means managing your anger, which means being at rest and at peace with yourself and others, okay? It's not about running out of patience and wanting to fight with everyone. It's not about because you have no food in your system that you take that as an excuse to vent out or to do other things that you wouldn't normally do because of your not eating or not drinking, right? It's about self-control and mind control and being in such a good state, sort of calm, positive state that you get what you need to do out of the day. You respect others. You make time for others, and you put others instead of yourself first. Okay, I think this is something that's quite neglected, to be honest. Everyone is running around and chasing and doing things for themselves that they really try. They don't try, but they neglect others or they don't make time for others. If you're gonna do that in any time, Ramadan is the time to do that. Okay, so just something just to set the scene for you and be mindful of. Right, so when it comes to food, I've got 5 steps or 5 tips that I think that you guys should do or should incorporate to help you have the best out of Ramadan, to feel better in your system, in your food, digestion wise, everything, having more energy the next day and feeling less lethargic. These are my sort of tips and steps. Okay, so first one is cut down your meal size. Okay, so a lot of people, when it comes to Ramadan, they want to feast. So they've been fasting all day, not eating, not drinking, and when it comes to actually breaking your fast, they go crazy and they pile on the plate. You don't want to do that. Okay, this is going to disrupt your digestive process. It's going to disrupt your body's repair and recovery. I'm going to talk a bit more about it as we go on, but you want to be able not to have such a big meal that you just sit back on the sofa, your belly's gone triple the size, and you can't move an inch. That's what you want to avoid. You don't want to do that. I know the temptation is there to just overeat and go for it, but you don't want to do that, right? And just remember, so the more food you eat, the more energy your body needs to process that food, okay? So it's not all about having big meals, it's about having the right meals and the right foods. Step number 2, simple meals. You want to simplify your meal as much as possible. Again, a lot of people have, I'm just giving examples, so biryanis and the fried chicken and meats and curries and everything when it comes to sitting down and saying, okay, I'm gonna have this, and junk food and all of that. It's not about that at all, right? Because in Ramadan, of all months, you're supposed to respect and you're supposed to appreciate the food that you have and not overeat and not overindulge and more simplify your body and simplify your mind to get the most out of it, to break it down to what it truly is. Okay, so if you're going at it and all the time having all these meals and whatever, it's not the right way to go about it. We've all been there, we've all done it. I did it when I was younger without realizing, understanding, but over the years, the experience and the wisdom has taught me not to do that. Okay, so I'm grateful for that. So you want to simplify your meals. Okay, so that means, for example, having boiled or steamed vegetables or I don't know, sauteed or something, and not having so much different fried things and junk things and whatever, and having it as an excuse to just go at food. Okay, that's not what it's supposed to be about. Right, number 3, you want to avoid heavy meals. So when you're having so much, okay, say you want to have, and you, like we mentioned, like cut down your portion size, but the effects of having such a big heavy meal is that it's going to cause you discomfort. It's going to cause you gases to build up. It's going to cause inflammation in your body and in your stomach. You're going to be very tired the next day. All right. So this leads me actually to my point number 4, which is if you overeat, you will feel tired the next day. The reason being is, imagine when you eat at night, okay, which is something I don't do and I tell you guys not to do, but because of Ramadan we have to. And so you overeat at night, and then you may have, I don't know, a 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you're still eating as much as you can and whatever to try and take on board energy for the next day. What happens to your digestive system overnight? I'll tell you what's going to happen. So your body is going to be too busy digesting all of that food, and imagine, has to go through your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, going to be processed all the way through, and it's going to do that. It's going to take up a chunk of the night doing that. So that's wasted energy when it could be repairing your body and fixing all the needs, all the things it needs to fix for you to feel better the next day, to have more energy. You overeating is such a big no-no anyway, okay? But at night and all of that, it's just the worst thing. Your body just doesn't have a chance to repair, and then you blame and you say, okay, well, I'm so tired the next day. I had such a big meal. Why am I tired? I had a lot to eat, so I should have energy. It's the opposite. Because you ate too much, it's probably why you're lethargic and tired the next day. Okay, so a very important point to keep in mind. So that was number 4. Number 5. Include more vegetables and fruits in your fast when you come to eating. Okay, let me explain why. Again, so if you're having the less nutritious food in Ramadan anyway, your food, if anything, should be more nutritious, more with the right foods than any other time, if you like. Okay, because you're fasting throughout the day and 16, 18-hour fasts and the rest of it, you need the right type of energy to fuel you throughout the day. Okay, so vegetables have a lot of that energy and they can help you, and fruits, and I'll explain why. There's so much nutrition attached to these foods. Okay, and when you don't have the food throughout the day, you rely on your stores and your reserves. And if your stores and reserves are full of vitamins and minerals and nutrients and antioxidants and all of these things that you get from vegetables and fruits, your body is going to use them up in the right way, and it's going to spread them out throughout the day, and you're going to have more energy. You're not going to have that crash at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock waiting. You think, oh my God, I'm dead, like I want to eat now. You're not going to have that because you fueled your body the right way. If you have something like fried foods, fried potatoes and fried chicken and curries and all of these other things, that nutrition is just not the right nutrition. Okay, it's going to hinder your energy levels the next day and how good you feel. Okay, you'll achieve a lot less and you'll be tired and you'll be lethargic. I've mentioned it, okay, before. The vegetables you can include and should include is things like lentils, soups, salads, beans, aubergines. Another good substitute to have, if you can, is brown rice instead of white rice. White rice spikes your sugar levels, and it's very easily and quickly digested because of what it is, the type of food it is. Okay, if you were to have something like brown rice, it's a lot slower digesting throughout your process, so your body doesn't need to work as hard. It breaks it down slowly over time in its own time. Okay, rather than pulling all this energy trying to go throughout and churn all this food, like especially like I said, the white rice type of foods and the fried foods. This is what they do to your body. So you want to avoid that and have things like brown rice. For me, even better, I have something like quinoa instead of brown rice, and I have that in. You'll be surprised about my meals and what I have. I have for Ramadan especially, I don't overeat. Okay, so I have things like salads, I have light foods, I have soup, but it's not a normal salad, by the way. So my salads it's not lettuce, cucumber and tomato, no. It's things like spinach, fortified sort of foods, like kales, so potatoes is my carb source, for example, quinoa, seeds, all of these things. Imagine a big bowl of salad. this is the type of things I would have, with obviously other vegetables like, I don't know, green beans and peas and so on and so on. So I know I'm getting the right nutrition, and my body is going to use this nutrition properly for the next day, so I don't feel as tired. You will be operating not at 100% anyway, because you don't have water and you don't have other things um, to fuel you, and stimulants like tea and coffee and so on. But you'll have the right nutrition and the right reserve of good foods to fuel throughout the day. Um, because also we're not able to drink water, it's important to try and get that in. Okay, and that doesn't have to mean sitting there and guzzling down 2 or 3 liters in the space of an hour or two. It doesn't need to be that way. So you can keep sipping and drinking throughout the evening, but this is where fruits are so important and where they come in. So after you break your fast, I would say probably about leave a 2 hour gap. Your body can slowly digest and all of these things. You don't have fruit over meals anyway, straight after, because these are acids and they build up along your stomach, leading to not good digestion. Okay, so you want to have give your body a time to digest and go through the process after fasting, and then 2 hours later or so, you can have some fruit. And now these are important as well. So if you can include these fruits, it's a big plus for you. It will help you. Believe me. Okay, this is my tried and tested and in my experiences. So dates, I haven't mentioned in this video actually. Dates are an absolute must. So obviously when you break your fast, you'll have dates, but also have some later on throughout the evening, because they contain so much goodness. That's a whole nother video on dates. So I'll fill you in on that later. But things like watermelon. Okay, watermelon is full of goodness, full of water, almost 90% water, but so much nutrition attached to that, and the right types of sugars. Don't worry about fruits, sugars and fruits. I've mentioned this in a different video. Don't worry about that. Okay, and things like pomegranates as well, other melons, the white melon, yellow melons. All of these have a lot of water, a lot of nutrition, and again will help you fuel you throughout the day. Because most of you are thinking of all the questions I have is, what can I eat? How am I going to feel good the next day? How am I going to feel less lethargic? How am I going to be able to cope throughout the day and go and do work and pick up the kids and do the rest of it and then do the chores and then cook meals? Doing these simple steps I mentioned to you, these 5 simple steps will help you, I promise, because they're tried and tested by me. I've done the same for my family, and I've got them to do the same, and they feel better. Okay, so it's just about having someone to explain it to you and tell you and give you that positive, different angle on how you should eat and how you should go about it during Ramadan. I hope that wasn't too much for you. It's I've tried to do it now in time for Ramadan, which is going to start in the next few days for some people, tomorrow, day after. It's try to take these points on board and see how you feel. Okay. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is suhoor. So when you come to eating later on in the evening, some of you go to sleep and then wake up then. Don't eat a heavy meal. Again, don't eat a heavy meal. This will also disrupt your digestion process. It will also make it more difficult for you to digest, and you'll have a less comfortable and less restful sleep. Something you can have, believe it or not, is oats and porridge, something like that, with a little bit of honey, with more nuts if you can, seeds. These are the right types of foods to have. If you're going to have leftovers from when you break from iftar, again, have a small portion. Okay, don't overeat at suhoor. Honestly, it's the worst thing for me. I don't, sometimes I don't have suhoor, or sometimes I do, but it's very simple. I may have a banana, or I may have something else like that, and I don't feel I need the next day. I don't feel, oh, I'm so hungry, what am I going to do next? I don't feel that, because I've trained my body, and you can do the same. So this is your chance during Ramadan to try these things, to test them out and see how you feel. I promise, if you do it for 3 days, okay? Try it for 3 days. It's not even that much. Try it for 3 days. Have simple meals, no fried foods, more boiled, more steamed, things like that, and see how you feel. If you don't feel light after 3 days, then go and do what you want. Um, but have whatever meals you want to have. But I know it will work, and I know because I've tried and tested it. But also, iftar is not a food festival. Okay, so don't see it as, oh my god, let's go at this. Don't see it like that. If you're invited somewhere and there's an array of food, yes, help yourself and do the rest of it, but don't do that every day because it will disrupt your process and it'll make you feel worse the next day. Okay, right. So this is the Ramadan video that you all requested. It's on YouTube here. Please support me, guys, if you can. I've supported you throughout this time. Like this video. I know I always see people say this: like, share, subscribe. Well, I can see why, because they want to get their message out there and they want to help people. I want to help people. So if you can like and share and subscribe to the channel, it'll be good because I can gauge what you guys want and I can gauge what videos are most suitable for you and how they can help you. So with all that, I hope it helps. Till the next video, take care.